Sitting at one of my favorite restaurants in Ruai is perhaps the best way to introduce the lifestyle here in Phuket, Thailand. Uh, we'll come down here usually after visiting uh, another restaurant on the way to have a fresh coconut, which tastes like nothing I've ever tasted in terms of the fresh coconuts imported, just because they're right off the tree. And we're here at a little kind of beachside uh, location with numerous little eateries, and what you can sometimes hear in the background are the long boats that are starting to take people out for snorkeling or go out fishing. And over the years of living here, we've gotten to know like 5 or 6 of some of the best food locations I've tasted anywhere in the world. Um, the cost of living in terms of dining is about 40 to 50% less than most Western countries, but the food is also sometimes 300% better. And I think some of it is the ambiance of eating, just the humidity and the quality of air. But I wanted to tell the backstory of this role or this position, and kind of what I'm picturing. Um, all of us have a creative side, and I've enjoyed writing poetry and drawing and painting, etc. But for the most part, creative arts coming out from the inside have been something that I've done in the luxury of being a contractor, a landscape designer and installer in the United States. And so I save up my money, in that work, and then I head over here where I have a little apartment that's overlooking greenery and the largest Buddha in Thailand up on the mountain. And it's absolutely fabulous. I love my neighbors. I feel very at home with the spontaneity and freedom of the people. And I have 2 one-bedroom apartments, one that I got to sleep in and spend time with my wife, and the other that I got as a blogging and also an art studio. So paints and paint supplies, and then also a 2-switch item where 2 switches turn on photo quality lights for the entire room. There's a large chalkboard, and you can either use a green screen or one of the backdrops that I had printed of one of my landscapes to tell stories. It's very difficult in Thailand to find noise-free environments, and so it's pretty nice to have to have a situation where one can make videos in quiet or paint in quiet, and that's why I got the other apartment. And I noticed that in our culture and this time in history, it's relatively rare for people to have an opportunity to connect deeply on the inside and bring something out without focusing on what the tourist market wants to buy, but rather telling a story. And I've been doing that a lot with video blogging and formed a nonprofit, happinessdata.org, in order to kind of, I guess, provide a little bit of a home for producing this type of work. And the narratives are rich and good, but when you have 2 or 3 hours on a topic, it's a very cerebral experience just to look at a talking head. And our culture lacks some of the multidimensionality of other cultures in history, where a story might be told in dance, in movement, in sound, in drawing, whether that's, animation or a series of paintings or an image that captures the essence of the video and is just morphed and animated slightly over time to fade in and out. And I would like to introduce a more multidimensional experience of consuming media. And one of the best ways to pioneer that, I think, is to have informal collaborations where an artist can listen to a video that speaks to them and turn it into their art form. And then a video editor can kind of blend in and out between, quote, the talking head and the painting, the drawing, the animation, the sketch, the illustration, the photography, the dance. And so I think that's an exciting direction for media, both as participants to kind of collaborate, but also for the audience to kind of see different expressions of the same work. So we're in an environment where art, particularly soulful art, does not have a cultural niche. And so, the question is, how does that come out into the world, particularly when it, rarely has an economic home. And one of the things I thought would be nice to do is share my Thai apartments when I'm not here, which is most of the time. This last 12 months, we're going to be here 30 days, and then the apartments are available. And rather than just rent them out, I thought it would be nice to offer them to an artist that wants to bring more of themselves to the world, and simultaneously contribute to some of the work that I'm doing by bringing dynamism into some of the many videos that I'm creating. So the skill sets that are needed are, and these, are possibilities, the more the better, obviously, but these are possibilities, are drawing, animation, painting, video editing, musical creation, musical recording, and also dance. And I particularly like the synesthesia that can come, for example, of dancing or moving in front of a green screen and then overlaying that onto a painting, and at times overlaying that onto music, and letting video collages come together where there might be one sound editor, one singer, one dancer, one painter, one illustrator, and one speaker, and letting those videos come together out of collaborations in different ways. And the way that's done is we use an editor called We Video, where the basic, an initial material is put up on the cloud, and then from there, it can be, you can add different tracks, and an editor can can bring different images to the foreground and different images into the background. And so just to tell you a little bit about the lifestyle here, it costs about $30 a day to eat relatively well. And that's if you're, eating out. You can eat very well in the kitchen, just buying supplies or, bring that down to about $10 if needed. A motorcycle rents for $3 a day, and then about $6 of gasoline lasts about a week. So let's say $4 a day for a motorcycle and $10 to $30 a day for eating. Flying from Bangkok to Phuket costs $40 to $100 each way. Sometimes as low as $30, just depending on if you're carefully booking for budget or otherwise. Round-trip tickets from San Francisco cost anywhere from $600 to $2,000, depending on how you shop, etc., and when. You get 30 days automatic visa upon coming into Thailand if you're from a Western country like the U.S. And then you can go to the Port Authority and for $60 renew that for another 60 days. And then one of two things tends to happen. Either so this would be one kind of scenario, would be a 60-day working internship holiday, which is pretty exciting. It gets a little boring not doing anything creative and just eating and driving around all the time for 2 months. So I find working at least a few hours a day is fun and enlivens the trip. So I do my happiness data writing and blogging, etc., when I'm here. And so you can either do the 60-day version, or you can leave the country and then come back, like fly to Bali. We've done that. We've flown to Singapore for a day or two and then flown back, and then you get an automatic 30 day again, and then that can be extended another 30 days. Or one can study the Thai language and spend about $1,000 for a year of Thai language courses. And you'll study that 4 hours a week and get a Thai language visa and just renew that every quarter, which the school usually does. And that'll get you a year, plus learning the Thai language, which is nice. My primary, interest is, making a space and giving a niche for an artist who appreciates, the culture of Thailand. It's frankly my favorite place to travel in the world, which is why I've chosen this as my apartment place. The waters are often in the 80-degree range Fahrenheit, so nice for swimming and snorkeling. And that's really that's really about it. The range of kind of engagement can vary depending on your talent and the amount that you want to focus on serving the happiness data mission. If you want to work on that, 6 or more hours a day, in addition to the apartment, I can probably throw in $300 a month, living expenses, which is the average salary of a Thai person. So it's perfectly adequate for for most living expenses. Or if you just want to, contribute 2, 3, 4 hours a day, in a more eclectic way, then I can make the apartment available free of rent, and you can have more part personal stuff and part contribution. So that's the vision, and I'll mix in a few photographs in this video so that you get a little bit of a sense of the terrain. My favorite place in Thailand is the Nai Harn beach area, so I've located the apartment within 15 minutes comfortable motorcycle ride, and I can introduce you to some of my favorite hangouts around the island if you'd like, or you can just discover it on your own. But if this sounds like a fit for you in some way, just make a submission in as much detail as you can about vision, the way you'd like to structure that financially, and share some samples of your work and what you'd like to contribute, and let's start a conversation. Take care.